Hello, everyone. Welcome to Patriots III, Life, Liberty, Pursuit of Happiness. Veterans, first responders, this is a show for you. My name is Tim, your host, and this is Firecracker, my co-host, with our special guest, Donna. And we're just going to get right into it. So we're going to talk about Warriors to Us and our guest, Donna. Donna, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then after, tell us more about Warriors to Us.
Well, I am. I've worked on DoD bid and proposal contracting for about 25 years, and that amounts to all the simulation trainers. Let's say Xbox on steroids. You get into a box or a room, and you're immersed into the scene where you're inside a helicopter and everything around you is either Afghanistan or Vietnam or whatever. This could be a urban environment, and you're flying over, and you either have to just fly over peacefully or kill or be killed type of scenario. So it's basically anything related to the simulation training environment is where I've spent most of my time. So I help companies like Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, etc., Raytheon bid and proposal contracts so that they can win the job and build these simulation trainers for our men and women in the military to be well trained, successful in their mission, and come home alive. And then, so that's what I've been doing, and I still work on proposal efforts as a senior proposal manager whenever I'm needed. I'm kind of semi-retired because I'm doing this in the middle of Missouri, and so wherever there's a company that wants to allow me to work remote, then I do that. Otherwise, I work on building stuff here at camp.
Awesome.
So that's me in a nutshell. Unless you want to go back further, I was born and raised in dairy farm. So had 223 acres growing up, and now I have. Well, there's 195 acres here at the Warriors to Us camp. So
wow.
So I'm almost like back to where I started, in the middle of nowhere, on a lot of land.
That is a lot.
Sounds like my story. I started out in a small little community, and I ended up getting away from what tried to grow up to be a city, and came into a smaller community. Now we're in the Midwest, so I got away from good old California and came to my dad's home state here in the Midwest.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm not too far from you, Donna.
Yeah.
But it's a little too far for a wheelchair ride.
Yeah.
So what kind of service is it that you guys provide there, Donna?
So at Warriors to Us, it came about because in 2016, I guess I'm answering a different question, but in 2016, I became aware that about 17 people a day were killing themselves when they got home for one reason or another, whether it's having some form of addiction to the drugs that are dispensed after people get out, or alcohol, or their life is kind of completely gone 180 in an opposite direction, not knowing what to do once they get out, coming out of the service and being right back into where they were at 18 years old when they got out of high school, and have never done a resume, not sure where they're going to work, what the military offers as far as how they would go about getting a job. So, so that's a lot of stuff that I learned about while in these proposal rooms, because there's always a subject matter expert, whether it's a Marine or former Marine, and any of the other disciplines, whether it's Air Force, Army, etc., Navy. So in these proposal rooms, you're basically locked in these rooms, not technically locked, but usually nobody else can get in except for the team that's supposed to be working on it. But you become like family, a little miniature family unit where, people are talking about things that they normally wouldn't just talk to you as a stranger about. because you're talking about things they're very intimately familiar with, whether like it's, they're comfortable with everything related to tanks, and we're talking about tanks and how to build it the best way possible to train everybody. And you're there for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and sometimes even midnight buffet. And so they open up and they tell you, issues that they had when they got out of the military, battle buddies that have committed suicide or that are struggling. And so I had a house here, the house that I'm in right now. It's an octagon. And there's the house and 68 acres at the time, and various people would come up, with people that they had, that were in distress, let's say, veterans or first responders. And so I had let a couple of people come here before just to stay in my house because I was living in Orlando at the time. And so I said, as long as they take a battle buddy with them, or an uncle or a brother or a cousin or somebody that knows their mannerisms enough that they would get them to safety if they needed to,
Right.
And so that was helpful to them. And so I thought, well, maybe I could do more. And because the numbers were still rising. And I think to myself, is like, all right, 1999, I believe, is when a Wounded Warrior project came into play.
Yeah.
And various others, but 1999 was like the one that I remembered most. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's going to help a lot of people, get them out and so on. Well, 2016, 16 a day are killing themselves. 2018, it's 18 to 20 a day were killing themselves. Whenever 2020, when I think we opened, our grand opening here was 2020, 4th of July. And it was more like 25 a day. If you average out all of the branches of service. So Marine Corps was closer to 40 a day. Air Force wasn't as bad. They still had people, taking their life, but it was rounded up between all four branches, got you down to 25 to 28 a day in 2020.
Right? One is too many. So
obviously, like I said, in 2016, it was about 16 or 17 a day. I mean, that broke my heart because my whole life's work has been making sure, trying, my best to make sure people are well trained and successful in their mission, come home alive, and can then live a happy life, right? So I thought, well, what has everybody been saying in these proposal rooms? Can you stop? He likes to be a part. So, so I just kind of like dug deep into what people have been saying. Like it was hard to figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my life. Trying to find a job was difficult. I had one guy say that, he's an engineer now working on the proposal with me, but his first couple of years was cleaning out kennels at a dog shelter. And that's a lot whenever you've spent 9 years in the military, having a lot of responsibility, whether it's human resources, a lot of people underneath you, or the equipment, which is millions of dollars each aircraft, all this stuff, Jeeps, Humvees, there's a lot of money, or the ammunition and the weapons. So then to find out that this is the only job that I can get, it's hard for, I don't know about females, but the male psyche, it really messes you up. And rightly so. They're traditionally, and bred to be the providers, the strength of the
family,
family unit. Yep. So there's a lot of reasons why it's happening. And I understand a lot of it because of the conversations in those proposal rooms. So being that when I had people come here and just getting away, just getting out from the four walls, was able to help them decompress a bit, change the channel, so where they could then go forth and conquer whatever it was they needed to. So I decided that I was going to do this, and I started saving money because I knew, in the environment we were heading into, it may be a challenge. So I reached out to Ace Baker on Facebook and said, "Hey, I'm looking into doing this. I know that you work at, the SEER school at Fort Rucker. Any ideas that you can hand off to me or help me, just noodle through this would be the best way to get people here. I would actually love for it to be a transition center where people come here after they get out. They spend like either a long weekend and then go back home and then come back and spend a week and then go back home, and then maybe they can bring their family for a time or a bit of time, so they can know where their loved ones going versus you just got here and now you're disappearing." And so we have various things here to because of what I heard. I have various things here to train you how to do other things where these, in many cases, alpha males who are not going to be successful working for someone else could start their own business. So I have a silkscreen t-shirt print shop. I have a sawmill. It's a so you could actually cut a tree down, saw it into logs, and build green out of it, or take it and have it kiln dry and make various crafts and furniture. Excuse me. Hey, stop. You can hear them now, can't you?
Yes, I can. The kids are acting up.
No.
We're all dogging.
Is there a way to drown that out? And then we have a big workshop in the garage where you can do various types of woodworking. We have a big bonfire area, and most of the chairs were built by people that have come here and have worked on group dynamic type stuff where it's 2 people per chair to try and put these things together. And they're all now positioned around the campfire, and you could see that on the Warriors2us website in the gallery. There's a lot of photos. So,
do you think it's because they all have experienced similar situations that it works so well for them?
Partially. So when people come here, they either want to do absolutely nothing and just maybe sit around the campfire, smoke cigars, and drink whiskey and talk about what there is to talk about, or they want to amp up and, hey, let's go kayaking. Let's go. There's also a live fire gun range here, so they'll go and shoot and play tic-tac-toe and various other games that are available. And
they want to be part of the show.
And then there's people can bring their quads if they have them, or or side by sides, because there's nothing like some of these trail rides that you can go on, but there are some those places in the area, so you could spend a day, go up there, ride around, and then come back.
But I imagine when you've been through what they've been through, some of them have been through a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's the hardest part to do.
The unmentionables. So as to why I did this, I think you got the full story on that. And what there is to do is like I said, I have a lodge, built a lodge. It houses 18 people. There could be more. There's various cots and couches with recliners and so on. So I think it could go up to probably 25 or 26 people if people are, using those.
Yeah.
Stop.
And you got plenty of room. You got tons of acreage, right? People could camp with it too or something, right?
Yeah. And then we have a tiny home village that's directly across the road. And I just recently had someone come by and do that whole mulching where they leave the really big trees and then mulch everything else. And I think it was probably at least 3 to 5 acres. It's hard to tell. And
that's good.
The very next day, I got the call that a group wanted to come out and have maybe 100 to 200 people come and camp, and do prepper stuff and things like that. So now I'm in the process of working on putting in another bonfire area over there. And hang on. Sorry.
So I put the website into the comments there, and then the QR code, this just right over my flag, that actually goes to the same website for those that want to choose to scan the QR code. It'll take you directly there, and there's a wonderful gallery of photos on the website. So go ahead and definitely take a look at that, and you can get an idea what she was just talking about.
Yeah, and if you're able to donate because we
well,
need it,
I mean,
right?
that's a curious question too, Donna. All this work that you put in, do you receive any grants or anything of the sort?
I have not put forward any grants. I just recently was looking into a couple, and so I'll probably be filing for a grant or two this year. Whether I'll get them or not, I don't know. But for the most part, it's been, just I sold my house in Orlando and built a lodge. And,
that's awesome.
Acquiring some extra land, and people ask me sometimes, it's like, it's great that you have all this. It's like, well, I really have all this because of what it's going for. I'm not using this land. It's for them.
You don't need that.
And
you don't need. That's a beautiful thing to do.
If you look at the footprint of the property, it's like we have my house at the end of the driveway, and just up the driveway to the left is the lodge. And I don't think there's anybody in the world that just decides to have a house and then build another house right next and then never really go in it except for whenever there's guests here. So it's like, that would be kind of foolish, but so it really is for them to use. And I basically, they lease it. Warriors2us leases it off of me so that, it can't be taken away.
Nice.
Right. That's beautiful.
And for the tiny home village, there's a lot of people that are, it's difficult to find housing in the area, and it's becoming more and more difficult for people to actually acquire a house at all.
Oh yeah.
So what we are doing is we have people get those sheds and have them custom made, where 8-foot, walls versus 6, like a shed. You get the 8-foot walls, and you get your normal custom doors, front doors, and put the windows where you want them, and then they bring them out, and they can get a lot, and it's $300 a month. And what happens is you get this building, and it's, I don't know, maybe $18,000 for the structure, and you build it out. It may come between, if you get real fancy, it could go up to $100,000, but for the most part, right now we're probably in the 55,000 range. And the way it's working is people will start, all right, we're going to put in the electric, and then we're going to put in, and they're making money as they go, and they're basically putting the money into it versus having to get a loan. Some have a loan for the actual building, and so there's that payment, but you can pay that off in 2 to 4 years.
Yeah, it's pretty
versus
easy.
a home mortgage where they're spreading that out to 50 years now.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
gosh.
And you can't live anywhere for really $300 a month, right? I
Right.
mean,
Yeah,
there's
it's $300 a month to get hookup to electric, water, and septic. You pay
oh,
your own electric bill, so you will have your own electric bill to pay, but the lot rent is $300 a month, and you're basically being immersed into a wooded community
yeah, but
where
that's cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we just recently started to build. It's almost finished, but for a greenhouse, and we have plans to put in tiered garden beds down the hillside.
Mhm.
So it is more of a community type thing that we're trying to plan. Where if you want to have chickens, you're welcome to. I have a coop here with I think it's 10 chickens. So you can either be a part of the chickens that we have, or get your own and keep your
Yeah,
own,
that's
or get some goats, or if everybody got different things, then someone
right.
has rabbits and I have the chickens, and someone else could get
A pig or a cow or something, whatever. Uh, all the above.
Various animals to contribute to
Yeah.
the rest of the
yeah,
community.
then there's not one person doing all the work on all
Right.
the front, and you know and then you basically barter. It's like, hey, you need eggs, I got some goat's
Yeah.
milk, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
not that we're forced to do it, but it would be something that would be pretty cool, where
Yeah.
you go to the grocery store because you actually have to for certain things, but not everything.
Right.
So
That's taking it back a little bit to like back in the day when people helped each other out, like you helped your
yeah,
neighbors build a
yeah,
house, you helped them do,
yeah.
whatever they needed. I
Where
love that
Yeah.
good
idea.
The
good
bartering
people
is a
work
great thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
where good
It's,
people work together to
Yes.
make
yeah.
life easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have
Yep.
a common issue that they've all dealt with in their lives that, being on the front lines like that could be pretty traumatic, I'm sure.
Yeah. And
I
and
have,
not everybody that lives in the village will have to be a veteran, but
yeah,
they get the first right of refusal for coming in.
that's a
So,
good idea. I love
yeah.
it. And I'm sure
But
they,
anybody coming in has to be a veteran supporter for sure.
oh, for sure. Yeah.
Know what it's all about, and be okay with it versus yeah.
Yeah. I
So
get you. So
yep.
it's in
So
Missouri with 189 acres. I imagine you could fit quite a few tiny homes on there.
yeah, 195 acres.
Oh, 100.
The tiny homes are basically going to just be across the road on a 12-acre tract. Um,
Okay.
but I'm probably going to post some pictures of the cleared property in the next day or two,
Yeah.
because that's
Awesome.
kind of where the new thing's going to go. But between now and June, I'm going to be like working on smoothing out the layout of the land, and
Yeah.
there's a hillside that at some point, probably not by June, but at some point I want to put a chapel
Oh, yeah.
there.
Oh,
There's
that's
a
awesome.
marine that we met in Virginia, or no, it was North Carolina. No, it was in Virginia. Anyway, we met her at a summit. It was a Patriot summit, and she just was a wonderful lady. And she knew we were having our grand opening. We had talked about wanting a chapel. Her and I actually talked about it would be really cool to have stained glass, and we were looking online together. And she bought a stained glass window that the center part was hand painted Star of Bethlehem in the 1890s. And
Beautiful.
this church was
Beautiful.
being taken apart, and so she bought the stained glass window. She lives in
Awesome.
Washington State, and she
Wow.
drove it down to Missouri for our grand opening in
Oh,
2020.
wow.
So
That's
there's
awesome.
there's a couple of places that need to be repaired.
Hmm.
But once those are repaired, basically the chapel is going to kind of be built around it.
Yeah,
So
that's beautiful. That's a
yeah,
good starting point. And that was
yep.
beautiful for her to drive it from Washington all the way out to Missouri.
With I think one was a bull mastiff pit bull mix, and the other
Hmm.
one was a pit bull. I mean, maybe they were both bull mastiff pit bull mixes, but She rescues pit bulls. She loves them, and they're just her and these two dogs in a Rubicon Jeep. So yeah, that had to be a bumpy ride, but yeah, she came all the way from Washington State down to southern Missouri and brought that stained glass. So we want to make it a huge, wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's
So
about a 2,000-mile trip. I know.
it is. It is.
Well, I know a lot of veterans experience homelessness, right? Is what they have said in the past. So to have this option of some place they could go, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and it really is affordable.
It is.
We have people doing it right now. There's my cousin, her and her boyfriend, they were both in the Air Force. They met in the Air Force, and they're over there. And then there's a first responder and his wife are over there, and his mother is right next to him.
That's great.
Yeah, so she has like a little efficiency, but they all bought buildings and then built them out. And actually, this summer I spent the summer putting the tongue and groove paneling on the inside of her little cabin. So
nice.
Yeah. So she's got to figure out what she wants to do for the ceiling. And I got a couple pieces to finish, but she's got to buy a few more boards. But so it keeps me busy as well. So it's almost like I'm semi-retired, but I've actually planned out my own busy work while I'm out here in my retirement versus sitting on the porch in a rocking chair sucking my thumb. So,
because you're used to being busy, right, Donna? You're used to being busy.
Yeah, if you ever worked on a proposal, it's like I said, you get to spend breakfast, lunch, dinner, and midnight buffet with people because you're just working nonstop. Especially towards the end.
Yeah,
it's balls to the wall. So
yeah,
let me tell you a little bit more about like the lodge and stuff. We have a couple bathrooms with 3 showers and on-demand water heater, so you never won't run out of water. We'll never run out of hot water. It's on a well system, and so you never run out of water either. And it's like crystal clear. I actually took the water to get it tested, and the guy was like, "Where did you get this? There's nothing in it."
Wow.
I'm like, "From my well." Yeah,
it was so clean.
yeah. There's nothing in it as far as any kind of debris. But so we got the beds are like bunk style, except for the ground floor. That's all ADA compliant, and it's got a queen size bed down there. So I wanted to put something in so that people that needed it would be able to come as well. So. And I knew that it was going to be more of an ad hoc, people show up and then they leave, and then more people, you have time that goes by, and then more people show up and or want to come out and hear about the place. And so we know that it's not going to be full all the time, and that's fine. I would like to get the village full because their rent actually goes. It is paid to Warriors to Us Foundation, so it is a tax deduction. Because we're a 501c3 nonprofit.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And then that funds Warriors to Us so that, I don't have to, and no one else has to at some point. So if we get enough people over there. So we have a full kitchen upstairs. So, you can make all kinds of things. And then we also have a grill in the garage, and those black stones, 2 of them, and those big steam pots for like doing shrimp boils and things like that, or frying turkeys or whatever. So we have a couple of those. So we kind of have it so that people can come there and just do what they want, get away and do what they. It's like an Airbnb, but with a lot more stuff, and maybe a couple rules like don't put your booger hook on your bang bang switch when you're on the range. So
I love that.
Until you're ready to fire, just leave it alone.
That's
So,
great. That is amazing.
But, we have
So
like I said, go ahead.
Have you guys got any donations from like any kind of housing for low cost housing or anything in your area? Because I would think there's not a lot of housing.
That's one of the grants that I'm looking at trying to get in on is
Yeah,
for
that
the
should be a good
part. It's mainly to put in the septic tank, to put in the septic system. Because I bought the property across the road because there's 2 wells on it. And a well, is expensive to drill here because there's a lot of rock here. So yeah, so the grant, like I said, would be to get the septic put in, and we'll see if they can do that for me at a reasonable price or help me out with it completely. That'd be great.
Yeah,
so,
that would.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to offer to do a septic, you know where to go.
Yeah. Well, you have to, that one of the things here in Missouri is there's not a lot of permits, not a lot of
government watching everything.
There's not a lot of code that you have to follow, but one thing that you do have to have is you have to have a certified person putting in the septic system.
Yes.
Because of the nature of sanitary water tables, and we got a lot of people using well water here. So
right. Tim knows that too.
Yes, I do.
I don't want that messed up because I'm on it too. So
right.
Yeah.
You want to keep your water clean.
Yeah. Well, mine, I have one for my house in the lodge, and then there's 2 across the road. So there's 4 on the one across the road right now, and then the other one that's up. There was a Marine who sold me the property. He wanted to sell like 5 acres a few years ago, and actually it was like more like 5 years ago, and he just wanted to sell me 5 acres of woods. I'm like, I already have I already have a lot of acres of woods. At the time I had 183 acres of woods. And so I said, but I could greatly use what's directly across from me because there was a well there, and then his property where he's at, because there's a well up there, that's valuable to me. And so, he just kind of looked at me like, he's living in a mobile home that, let's just say no one else would really want to live in.
It needs some work.
Right? Yeah. And more than that. So I told him, I said, let me buy the property, and then I'll give you a lifetime lease, and you can live there for the rest of your days. And, I won't bother you. You don't bother me. And, any more than we already do as just neighbors. And, so, initially he was like, oh no, I can't. Because he would get his water from the well that was across from my house. And I said, well, if you can still get water there. I'm not going to shut it off. Or you can get water from right behind my building, or come over and take showers or whatever. He had no running water in his mobile home.
Okay.
And yeah. So, and I offered for him to use the laundry and to come take showers. And whenever we would have events, I'd invite him over, but he didn't really come over very often. But he passed away, not this past November, but the November before. And so up by the area where I cleared is around where his mobile home was removed and demolished and taken off the property.
I got you.
So we did find a few things, and we're in the process of putting those together in like a shadow box or something as like a memorial for him.
Very nice.
That's very nice. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So it would be great if people would donate. So we have our little QR code up there.
And they can always
go on your website, right? Donna, they can go on the website.
Yeah, they could go on the website or the Facebook page has a donate button as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I put the Facebook page in the comments.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
That'd be great for the tiny home community, that'd be great for them to get that info as well, because
Mhm.
that's cost effective for people coming back that don't have a lot to come back to, right? You have to start
Right.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I have people that I know who that's what they do for the most part is rewrite people's resumes to put into the bid and proposals. But they have the understanding of if you were in the military, if you had a security clearance, what does that amount to? If you led
Yeah,
a number of peer personnel, what does that equate to? If you
right.
had a lot of equipment and stuff under your charge, what does that equate to in the civilian
Hmm.
HR environment? And
Yeah.
so rewriting their resumes so that and also educating them how to tweak it for the job that they're applying for. Common words that they use word searches. So you read what
Yeah.
the resume, read what the job description is all about, and you change
Mhm.
a few of the words so that it actually matches what's in the
Right.
request,
Right.
so
That's
that
smart.
the HR person's system will pick up on it. So
Right.
those kinds of things we try to teach them so that they're not just wondering, why isn't anybody calling me? Why can't I find a
Yeah.
job?
I've heard that
What am I
many times.
doing here? Yeah.
Hmm. It's
Mhm.
common, I'm sure.
Yep.
I don't know why it's so common, but I know that it is a very common thing. When they come
Yeah.
back, they have to struggle to find somewhere to live, how to fit back in, how to go from what you see and hear and do over there to come back here and live like normal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's no such thing, I'm sure.
Well,
So
if you
you're
think about it, whenever you were 17, 18 years old, you were putting
right.
a
Yeah.
resume together that made sense, entry level. I don't have much experience except for,
Right.
whatever you may have been able to get, babysitting or whatever it is,
Yeah. Not a lot.
or working at a gas station or
Right.
working at McDonald's or whatever it is. But
Right.
they're coming back and they left when they were 17, 18.
Yeah. They
And
don't
they
even
come
know how
back
to
and
do a
it's like, all right,
resume.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to do this. And there is a program called TAPS where it's the transition program to get out of the military.
Yeah.
And it's got a website and everything, but a lot of them aren't into going on the websites
Or
and
plus
learning
there's
this
probably
stuff.
a backlog. There's probably a backlog to get in like there is with everything else when you come back, right?
No, well, the transition program thing that they have, it's not much different than if you're signing up for the VA, and
Right.
anybody can get in it and access it and learn from it. It's just having the mindset to hey, this is what this means
Yeah.
and this is where you go, and
Yeah.
because during that 2 weeks of transitioning out,
Hmm.
uh, they're having to return their uniforms and equipment and say goodbye to people, and there's and then they're not in the mindset of they're in short timer mindset of
Right.
I'm going to be going home, I'm going to go see my family,
Right.
and a lot of times where it's like their family was X and now they're Y because you've been
Yeah, they don't even
gone
know.
for X number of years. Yeah, you've kept in touch, but it's a lot different than when you come back and you're not 18 anymore, just out
Right.
of high school. You're
Right.
25 or 28,
Or
and
40.
you're looked at as you should know this stuff. Or
Right.
but
Right.
yeah,
Oh, for
so
sure. For sure.
there's a lot. There's a lot to go through. It's a big process.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what they would start, how to even start to navigate the process is, I'm sure, tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yep.
so much out there. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
think.
then if you're injured or have
Mhm.
issues where they put you on medications, that messes things up even further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think the VA is been pretty helpful for some of the people I know, but I mean, in terms of dealing with the trauma that they saw and things that they had to do, or that kind of thing is probably the hardest to deal with. I think that's
yeah,
why your guys' place is valuable, very valuable.
yeah, it's the invisible scars.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see them. People carry them in the inside, and only somebody that's been there could probably identify with it, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't
So
think I could
if you
identify
if you look at my logo, the Spartan helmet, on the left, it's all pristine, looks perfect. And on the right, it's marred up. It's got pock marks. And it's by design, because on the outside, you see that, you know, hey, you look okay. And then on the inside, they're not okay. And it's a struggle to get out of them that, hey, this is what my problem is, because sometimes they don't even understand what the problem is. But at the same time, it's like, I don't feel right. I don't like being around people. But why don't you like being around people? Or why don't you feel right? And you know, it's not the place of Warriors to Us to do that. I have been establishing relationships with people that do ask those questions and know what the answers mean. If people want to tap into them. So I have been kind of reaching out and getting connections with different people that, you know, can do more clinical stuff for those that are interested. But sometimes it's just a matter of having a discussion with a normal person that's not trying to analyze you. So,
That's the key right there. Someone that's been already through it. You know what I mean? They know exactly how that person is feeling because they've been there too. Like I couldn't identify with them the way somebody else could. So I think that's the best form of therapy, really.
Yeah.
I love the idea though. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
I wish I
or
would
even
have
just somebody with an ear.
What was that?
Or even just somebody with an ear to listen. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, true.
Yep.
True. That's valid. I know my cousin came back. He was a training officer. He came back and his wife had left, and you know, he just went through like so many changes all of a sudden, and it was very traumatic for him. So, you know, he went to counseling and stuff just because of that, but he didn't really see the active combat the way they used to see it back in the day, you know, like Vietnam or something, which was way more traumatic, I'm sure. But still, just being there, seeing anything, I wouldn't want to kill anybody or hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough job.
Different kind of trauma, that's for sure. And then we have, you know, at the same time, whenever it was like I said, I think it was 2016, there was also the spike in the first responders have their suicide rate was spiking as well. So, you know, we opened it up to veterans and first responders. And first responders, it's kind of a loose term, but that equates to anybody that is dropping everything that they were doing to go and help. So whether it's the ER staff, if it's the linemen that have to go out in the snowstorms and help people, I mean, or you know, or whatever, it's those, of course it's the law enforcement officers, the firefighters, the EMS and EMT folks, but it's also those people that are working in the ER that see people, you know, come in with horrific things happening to them, or like I said, the linemen that, you know, they're out and trying to put people's power back on as quickly as possible, and usually not in very good circumstances, like in the middle of hurricanes and snowstorms and ice storms and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean, a transformer blew up right outside my place, 28 degrees outside. You know, in less than an hour, someone's out there replacing it. So
yeah, why couldn't it have been a 75-degree sunny day?
Hey, what's wrong with that transformer? Damn it! Doesn't it know not to blow up when it's
people?
Yeah, that's true though. We just had a snowstorm and Edison came out immediately because trees were landing on the power lines, and I don't know how they knew. I don't know if the neighbor called or whatever, but there was huge branches falling everywhere. And you're right. You got to go out there and work on that right now. I don't think so. I'll pass.
That's right.
So to pick things up a little bit, without naming any names, we talked about the serene part of it. Do you have any fun stories of the adrenaline part of it all?
Well, we've been on a few kayaking trips that turned out interesting. So sometimes we have groups come here that are they're Christian based. So they'll bring groups of veterans here that are, trying to kick whatever addiction, to minimize their PTSD, whether it be alcohol or drugs or a combination of the two. And so this group came out. They had a bunch of people. I think there was probably 11 or 12 of them, and they were going to go kayaking. And so I'm like, well, I have to stay here because the one guy had a son who had special needs and he could not go on the kayaking trip. So I'm like, I'll stay back, I'll watch the dogs, I'll work on dinner stuff. Right. And so they went kayaking. So I didn't get to witness it, but I got to relive it play by play when they got back. So there were people that were getting dumped out of the kayaks, and it's not a raging river. It's, it's class, maybe -1. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how they class these things, but you're not really going full bore. And a lot of times if you fall out, just stand up and you're able to stand up, or just pick your feet up and you're going to float down and meet up with your kayak at some point. So, but there was just rescue after rescue of them running into, a log or, running, getting stuck on rocks and stuff like that. And so there was that. And then, we had another guy and his wife that they were not water people. And so we go kayaking, and I was on this trip. We go kayaking and it's a 2.5 hour trip. Okay.
Oh, wow.
From the time you get let in the water till the time you get out of the water, it's a 2.5 hour trip. Well, they fell out so many times, and once she had to get rescued by the patrol boat, that was just happened to be going upriver because she was like hanging onto a log to save her life. It's like, if you would have just let go,
you would have floated.
or if you would have told us, hey, I'm afraid of water, we would have probably said, you know what, you should get into one of the bigger rafts. Don't get in a kayak that can fall over. Raft's not going to flip over unless you force it. You get out and force it to flip over.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'd fallen out several times, and they lost so much stuff that we're going to take our all kinds of stuff, and then they lost a lot of stuff in the water because it's like, this was a bad idea. It took us 4.5 hours to get down the river that day.
Wow.
So, 2 hours of that. Those times we're paddling against the current to get up to them to help them to save their stuff, or just the kayak. He's like standing there watching his kayak float down the river. He's like, who do you think's going to stop it? You're supposed to hurry up and grab your kayak at a minimum.
At least try.
Yeah. The kayaking trip has been the most entertaining, I should say, out of all of them, because you just don't know what people's levels of survival are, and some of them aren't so good. But we did have a group come here for an FPX, and there were about 47 people, and we did live fire gun training and stuff like that, and that was a good time. So they took turns making different meals and stuff, and that was actually really cool because people would chip in and help either go and buy stuff and then get on the grills and stuff and make what they were going to make for dinner or breakfast or lunch.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Spread the wealth a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then we did like an urban invasion course where we took everybody into town and basically taught people how to be aloof, become the gray man. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, not many people have a tendency to notice all their surroundings and what to look for and what to avoid. And so we've done some of that. Yep. Starting fires and
good time.
Yep. And like on the 4th of July, we have a big event every year, where, a friend of mine, he comes and brings his flamethrowers, and he's mixing up napalm under a tent in the middle of July when it's like 100 degrees, and
wow.
so
Wow.
these flamethrowers shoot like 110, 120 feet.
Oh my
Of,
gosh.
yeah, so
That'd be fun. That'd be a
that's
good time.
pretty cool. Yeah. Then we have a big fireworks display and have food, and
Oh, that's fun.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a blast, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had about 120 people here last year.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
Mhm.
awesome. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
more people will make it out there now when they see
Yeah.
what they can do.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we have a group coming in December.
Yeah.
It's actually a veteran. He teaches. He's a softball coach for his
Oh,
daughter
fun.
at the school, and so he's going to bring them and have a sleepover. Not just him and the girls, but the family members can come too. Didn't want that to sound strange, but yeah, because he's a veteran, he's welcome to come and use the facilities for up to a week at a time when he needs it for what he needs.
That's nice. That
That's
is
great.
so nice.
That's great.
And then, the only real rule is to leave the place in the same condition or better as when
Then
you found it.
when you got there. Yeah. That's legit.
So, yeah.
That's
Then
amazing.
then we can all afford to still, stay open. But if people come and like smash a bunch of stuff, then it makes it impossible. But so far, everybody's been really great. And a lot of times people, they want to come here and contribute and leave their mark in some way. Like, hey, I can make this, or like my son, when he first came to see the place, and he sent me 2 targets that are rated for rifles to put on the range. So we have a Texas Star and a dueling tree, all because he came here just to see what mom's been up to. So
he's got to check on his mom.
Yeah. I mean, whenever he comes here, he can use them, which is pretty nice. But
that's awesome. What a great idea.
Yeah.
So people can reach you through the website. That's Warriors2us. Through your Facebook under this. Yes, no spaces. And also same name under the Facebook. Is there any other ways to reach you? I know you have a lot of information there on your on the website.
Yeah, my phone number, my address, and email are all on there. So you got 3 ways to. I just suggest that you message me one way and not all 3.
Yeah. Don't get impatient, people.
Right. Or at least say, hey, I sent you a voicemail, and I sent you a text message, and I sent you an email, and I'm writing you a letter.
Like a minute apart.
Yeah.
She does respond promptly. Trust me, because it didn't take me long.
I'll try. Yeah, because there are times where I just bought some lumber to build these concealment tables. There's been a veteran that has been here several times, and he works like a dog because he's trying. He needs to do that, to vent. Get things off his mind, is to work hard. So. One of the concealment tables I'm building for him and his wife as a gift, and then there's another one that there's a first responder that is in Texas who has put in a request for one, and then I sell those, and the profit goes to Warriors2us. So things like that. So I'll sometimes, if I'm in the shop a lot, it makes it a little more difficult to respond sometimes, but.
Yeah, so be patient.
Yeah, I'm here. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, I'm sawing stuff right now.
Yeah. I got all the power tools out. Give me a sec, because I'm not putting them away right now.
I love power tools, Donna. I love power tools.
Yeah, so we were putting the garage together, we're at Lowe's and Home Depot, and Lowe's and Home Depot, 2020 during COVID. that's
You're
when we
there
were
every other day.
doing a lot of this stuff. Yeah. And it was actually kind of great because, you know, Lowe's and Home Depot were open. You couldn't go
And they
anywhere
weren't
else. You
crowded.
could go to Lowe's and Home Depot. And so, you know, that was my world. And it's like, I just have this, this draw to tool chests for some crazy reason. So I was like,
Right.
I have these. So I ended up buying a couple of tool chests, and we have them, you know, pretty full of stuff. So, you know, there's all kinds of tools and stuff here for people to use whenever we're working on projects. So that, you know, you don't have to pack your entire toolbox from home. You're welcome to, but
Yeah.
you know,
You have it.
we got stuff.
I
We
love
got
it.
stuff, saws and drills and hammers and screwdrivers and
And streams and kayaks and
yeah,
all kinds of good stuff. I love it.
yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. Enough
That's
to change their perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And there's a
Your
lot
mind.
of things we want to build here too. So, you know, if someone wants to come and help on a project, the whole idea is that we keep this as a perpetual build. So we never completely finish everything. You know,
Right.
if we're getting close to finishing something, you know, we'll start other things so that there's various things for various skill levels, but also just teaching people that don't be afraid to try and build something. You'd be surprised at how easy it is. And whenever they come here and, you know, I say, all right, here's the instructions on how to put the chairs together. This is what the chairs look like when they're done. And then ask me if you have any questions. And a lot of times I'll cut everything so it's already pre-cut. Like here's your number A pieces, and here's your B
You're
pieces.
labeling it for them to put it together. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit of the fear away, but then whenever it's done, it's like, man, I need to go home and do this. I got to go home and make some of these. These are awesome. It's like, that's great.
Yeah.
So
I love to make stuff too. I love it.
It sounds easier than IKEA, I tell you.
I know. Anything's easier than that.
You get, it's full instructions versus little pictures that nothing matches up.
And extra screws. I always have extra screws.
Yeah. Buy your own screws and you have plenty.
Yeah.
Yep. So. There you go. I love it.
We're just about ready to wrap up. So we are also now on Spotify, iHeart, and Apple Podcasts. So those that are listening in, go ahead and, you know, take a look at the show description. I'll have all the links provided in there. And so anything further to add?
Well, you guys have any other questions or curiosity stuff? Please
I
let
just
me
think
know.
it's a brilliant idea. It's a brilliant idea.
Yes.
Brilliant idea. I love
There's
it.
a couple other places, like there's a couple places where they house veterans. They house veterans and have a thrift store that helps to fund it and stuff like that. But there isn't a place where you basically you're able to run away from home. And that's really what it amounts to. You're getting too stressed at whatever's going on, whether it's work or family or what have you. And you just, you know what, I'll be back. And if they let them know where they're going, then it's not such a drama. You know, I don't know where he is. I don't know where she is. You know, could be anywhere. Could be in a ditch. Who do I call the hospital? You know, what do I do? I mean, that's real life for some of these family members. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna go to Warriors2us and work on a project. You don't even have to say what it is because we always have a project going, or we can start one.
To be something.
So or just come and sleep for 12 hours. Sometimes you just need to sleep. I got some weighted blankets, so those weighted blankets for people that need them, and there's fans in some of the rooms so that you can turn the fan on because they need that whirring noise versus just dead silence. And the beds are really comfortable. We got the the memory foam mattresses, so we tried to do it right. It's rustic but nice. So
yeah, that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
This is really wonderful. I hope
Check out
a
the
lot of
gallery.
people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Check out the gallery on my website, warriors2us.com. And the gallery shows photos of what the bathrooms look like and what the bedrooms look like. And there's
awesome.
a total of four bedrooms. The downstairs is a queen adjustable bed. The downstairs is ADA compliant. And then upstairs there's 3 bedrooms. One sleeps 4, one sleeps 8, the other one sleeps another 4. And it's community bunk bed style for a reason, because we don't want people to come and isolate, because that is a big problem.
Oh yeah, because they're already going through that. Yeah.
Yeah, we want them to engage and be a part of, coming outside and working on stuff, or just coming outside and talking, or, they get their privacy and they can do stuff that, on their own if they want to. That's of course, but for the most part, it's like, you came here for a reason. You want to talk about it, or do you want to, get a mall axe and cut some wood and work it out?
Yeah. Punching bag, maybe. I don't know.
Whatever it takes, we're here for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's warriors2us.com. So definitely be sure to go there, visit the website, donate if you can. That'd be amazing. Let's see some more projects and some more people, being, treated well and getting their mind in a better place, like Donna has provided. This is, some really amazing stuff that she's doing out there.
Yeah, it is. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. You can find the show at Tim Holliday TV. That's HOLLIDAY on all your major social medias, and as I just mentioned, on iHeart, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. That was just recently taken care of a few days ago. But anyways, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Donna, thank you for joining with us and sharing what you have there.
You're
and hopefully
welcome.
with God's willing, hopefully I'll be there not too long from now.
All right. And then you can show them some of your own pictures.
Oh yes.
There you go.
First, check out these tricks on a wheelchair.
That's right. That's right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care, you all, and have a good night.